The internet is currently in a state of absolute meltdown, and for once, the king of the South might actually lose his crown. We've seen family feuds before, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for the absolute chaos currently erupting between T.I. and his son, Domani Harris. It all started when 50 Cent, the undisputed heavyweight champion of online trolling and receipt leaking, posted a video that was never meant for public eyes. This wasn't just a leaked song or a backstage argument. We are talking about a deeply private, highly sensitive video involving T.I. and his stepdaughter, Zonnique. Within minutes of the upload, the clip went viral, sending shockwaves through the industry. But while the world was busy speculating on the context of the footage, the real explosion happened inside the Harris household. Domani Harris, usually the most reserved and focused member of the family, has finally reached his breaking point. In a series of deleted posts and heated confrontations, Domani didn't just address his father. He attacked the very foundation of T.I.'s legacy. He's calling out the hypocrisy, the control, and the damage caused by living under the spotlight of a man who claims to protect his family while allegedly leading them into these scandals. Is this the end of the Harris family empire as we know it? Why did 50 Cent choose this specific moment to drop such a nuclear bomb? And most importantly, what was in that video that was so disturbing it forced a son to turn against his father in front of millions? Buckle up, because we are stripping back the layers of this beef to see who is really telling the truth and who is just trying to survive the fallout. Following that explosive realization, the question everyone is asking is, how did we even get here? To understand the magnitude of this fallout, we have to look directly at the man who pulled the pin on this Grenade Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson. In the world of hip-hop, 50 Cent isn't just a rapper or a businessman. He is a master of psychological warfare. He has spent decades mastering the art of the leak, knowing exactly when to stay quiet and exactly when to drop a piece of information that can dismantle a legacy. For years, the relationship between T.I. and 50 Cent has been a volatile mix of mutual respect and petty social media jabs. But this latest move has shifted the energy from a playful rivalry to a scorched earth campaign. When 50 Cent uploaded that private video involving T.I. and Zonnique, he wasn't just looking for clicks. He was looking to expose a fracture in the King of the South's carefully constructed armor. The video in question, allegedly a private moment that was never intended for the public eye, paints a picture of the Harris household that many fans find deeply unsettling. While the specific details of the dialogue in the clip are being debated across every blog and comment section, the underlying tone is what triggered the massive backlash. It shows a level of control and a specific type of intensity from T.I. toward his stepdaughter, Zonnique, that reignited years of criticism regarding his parenting style. For a man who has branded himself as the intellectual, protective patriarch of the family hustle, this leak felt like the curtain being pulled back on a reality that was far less glamorous than what we saw on VH1. 50 Cent's caption on the post was predictably ruthless, mocking T.I.'s habit of using big words to mask what 50 suggests is overbearing and toxic behavior. By targeting Zonnique, 50 Cent hit T.I. where it hurts most, his role as the protector of his daughters. The immediate aftermath on social media was a literal firestorm. Within hours, the video had been shared hundreds of thousands of times, and the narrative surrounding T.I. began to shift from legendary artist to problematic father. Critics pointed back to previous incidents, like the infamous Hymengate controversy where T.I. admitted to accompanying his daughter to the doctor to ensure her virginity was intact. The public began to connect the dots, suggesting that the video 50 Cent leaked was just another piece of evidence in a long-standing pattern of obsessive control. However, while the internet was busy dissecting T.I.'s body language, the real explosion was happening behind the scenes. The Harris family, usually so unified in the face of external threats, was beginning to splinter from the inside out. This is where Domani Harris enters the frame, and his involvement is what truly makes this situation unprecedented. Domani has always been the quiet one of the Harris children. He's the lyricist, the artist who refused to sign to his father's grand hustle label because he wanted to earn his success without the nepotism tag. He has spent years cultivating an image of independence and maturity, often staying out of the headlines that his siblings or parents frequently occupy. But seeing his sister, Zonnique, used as a pawn in a rap beef and seeing his father's actions provide the ammunition for that beef was clearly the final straw. Domani didn't just post a cryptic quote or an emoji. He launched a full-scale verbal assault on the hypocrisy he has witnessed within his own home. Domani's reaction wasn't just about the 50-cent leak. It was a response to the environment that allowed such a leak to be so damaging in the first place. He essentially validated the public's concerns, suggesting that the intellectual king persona T.I. presents to the world is a far cry from the man he is behind closed doors. By standing up for Zonnique and attacking T.I.'s methods, Domani did the unthinkable. He broke the code of silence that governs high-profile celebrity families. He pointed out that while T.I. is busy trying to check everyone else in the industry, he has failed to check his own behavior and the impact it has on his children's mental health and privacy. The industry is currently in shock because Domani's attack gives 50 Cent's leak a level of credibility that it wouldn't have had otherwise. If it were just 50 Cent talking, fans might dismiss it as trolling. But when the son, the one who lived in the house and saw the reality, stands up and says enough is enough, the world has no choice but to listen. Domani's words were calculated and heavy. He spoke about the burden of being a Harris and the exhaustion of having to defend a father whose actions are often indefensible. He made it clear that he is no longer interested in protecting the Harris legacy, if that legacy is built on the suffering or embarrassment of his siblings. This internal rebellion has left T.I. in a position he's never been in before. He's fighting a war on two fronts. On one side, he has his arch-rival 50 Cent, who is laughing as the view counts climb. On the other side, he has his own son, the one he once praised for his wisdom and talent, calling him a hypocrite in front of millions. The king is finding out that his crown doesn't mean much when his own heirs are the ones trying to take him down. This isn't just about a leaked video anymore. It's about the total collapse of the family dynamic that T.I. spent 2 decades building. As the tension reaches a breaking point, the focus moves from the video itself to the deeper, darker secrets that Domani is threatening to bring to light. As we move into the next chapter of this saga, we have to ask, what did Domani see that made him turn so aggressively? Is there more footage? Are there more stories? The family hustle has officially turned into a family feud. And for the first time in his career, T.I. doesn't have a vocabulary big enough to explain his way out of this one. The fallout is real, the damage is likely permanent, and the king of the South might be watching his empire crumble from the inside. The tension that erupted following the leak didn't just appear out of thin air. It was the result of years of suppressed frustration within the walls of the Harris estate. To understand why Domani Harris chose this specific moment to attack his father T.I., we have to look at the psychological weight of living as a Harris. For over a decade, this family has been the face of Black excellence and the family hustle, presenting a united front of wealth, discipline, and Southern royalty. But as Domani's recent statements suggest, that unity was often maintained through a rigid, almost suffocating level of control exerted by the patriarch himself. Domani's rebellion is significant because he isn't just a disgruntled teenager. He is a grown man and a respected artist who has finally decided that the performance of their lives is no longer worth the cost of his integrity or his sister's dignity. When Domani spoke out, he didn't just defend Zonnique. He went for the jugular of T.I.'s public persona. He alluded to the fact that while the cameras were rolling for reality TV, there was a completely different set of rules behind the scenes, rules that prioritized the brand over the individual mental health of the children. Domani's critique of his father centered on the idea of hypocrisy. He essentially asked the world, how can a man claim to be a leader of the community and a philosopher of the streets when he cannot even provide a safe, private environment for his own daughter to exist without it becoming fodder for a viral video? This attack was a calculated deconstruction of the T.I. myth. Domani suggested that the very video 50 Cent leaked was a symptom of a larger problem, a household where privacy was a luxury and the father's ego was the North Star. The rift between father and son has been a cold war for years, mostly kept out of the headlines. It started when Domani turned down a lucrative contract with T.I.'s Grand Hustle Records. At the time, T.I. laughed it off as his son wanting to do it his way, but insiders have long whispered that T.I. took it as a personal insult. To a man like Tip, who views himself as the ultimate mentor, a son rejecting his professional guidance is a rejection of his legacy. Domani, however, saw it as a survival tactic. He knew that to stay under his father's wing was to stay under his thumb. By speaking out now, following the 50 Cent leak, Domani has effectively turned that Cold War into a scorching public confrontation. He is signaling to the world that he is no longer a prince in training. He is a man who recognizes that the king has lost his way. Zonnique's position in this chaos is perhaps the most heartbreaking. As T.I.'s stepdaughter, she has often been the one to maintain the peace between the biological children and the various dynamics of the blended family. She has been a loyal soldier for the Harris brand for years. But being the centerpiece of a leaked video that is being mocked by millions, including her father's enemies, has pushed her into a corner. When Domani attacked T.I., he was acting as Zonnique's voice because she, caught in the complex web of family loyalty and professional ties, perhaps felt she couldn't speak for herself. Domani's attack was an act of extreme protective brotherly love. He was saying quite clearly that if the head of the house won't protect the women in the family from public humiliation, then that head of the house no longer deserves his title. The industry's reaction to Domani's rebellion has been one of stunned silence followed by intense debate. Usually, when a rapper is attacked by a rival like 50 Cent, the family circles the wagons. You expect the children to post free tip or don't believe the hype messages. But when the star pupil of the family stands up and says, "No, the hype is real, and the hypocrisy is worse," the damage is irreparable. Domani has stripped T.I. of his greatest defense, his image as a devoted family man. By validating the critics who have called T.I. controlling or overbearing, Domani has given a green light for the rest of the world to look deeper into the Harris family's private dealings. This isn't just about a single video anymore. It's about the performance of life. Domani's words hint at a deeper exhaustion. An exhaustion from having to maintain a perfect image while dealing with the reality of a father who treats his family like a business enterprise. He mentioned the scripts they had to follow, the narratives they had to push, and the punishments for stepping out of line. This is a whistleblowing event from within the inner sanctum. Domani is effectively telling the world that the king is wearing no clothes, and the crown he's been wearing was forged from the privacy and independence he took from his children. As we look at the fallout, it's clear that T.I. is struggling to find a response. For once, his expeditiously vocabulary and his long-winded Instagram videos aren't working. How do you argue with your own son when he's speaking from a place of lived trauma? How do you defend yourself against a leak when your own child is the one saying, "Yes, that's exactly how he is"? Domani has flipped the script, and in doing so, he has created a massive divide in the hip-hop community. Some see him as a hero for standing up for his sister and his truth, while others, mostly the old-school crowd, see it as a betrayal of the highest order. But for Domani, the betrayal happened a long time ago, when the cameras were turned on and the privacy of the Harris children was sold for a reality TV check. The rebellion is in full swing, and as the dust settles on this second part of the drama, the focus shifts from the initial leak to the future. Domani has crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. He has publicly challenged the authority of the King of the South, and in doing so, he has invited the world to witness the final days of the Harris Empire as we once knew it. The stage is set for a final confrontation, one that will determine if this family can ever truly heal, or if the king will be left ruling an empty castle. As we reach the final act of this unfolding drama, the focus shifts from the shock of the leak and the heat of the confrontation to the cold, hard reality of the aftermath. The Harris Empire, once thought to be an impenetrable fortress of Southern hip-hop royalty, is now facing its most significant existential crisis. This isn't just about a viral video or a heated Instagram exchange anymore. It's about the total collapse of a brand that was built on the foundation of family unity. When 50 Cent leaked that footage, he didn't just start a fire. He exposed the dry rot that had been eating away at the family's structure for years. And now, with Domani Harris standing firmly on the other side of the fence, the question isn't if the family will change, but whether it can survive at all. The immediate professional fallout for T.I. is becoming impossible to ignore. In today's climate, where accountability is the buzzword of the industry, a public attack from one's own son carries more weight than 1,000 diss tracks. Major brands and production companies, many of whom have partnered with the Harris family for their wholesome yet edgy reality TV image, are now forced to distance themselves. If the very children who starred in these shows are now calling the environment toxic or controlling, the commercial viability of the family hustle brand vanishes instantly. T.I. is finding himself in a position where his intellectual explanations and long-winded defenses are falling on deaf ears. For once, the public isn't interested in his vocabulary. They are interested in his character as a father. 50 Cent, meanwhile, has moved into the victory lap phase of his campaign. True to his reputation, he hasn't let up for a single second. Every time T.I. or Domani makes a move, 50 is there with a meme, a sarcastic comment, or another cryptic hint that there is more footage waiting in the wings. By staying involved, 50 Cent ensures that the wound remains open. He has successfully turned a private family matter into a global spectator sport, and in doing so, he has effectively neutralized T.I. as a serious critic of his own antics. How can Tip check anyone else in the rap game when he can't even maintain order in his own household? 50 Cent's trolling has achieved its ultimate goal, the total destabilization of his rival's authority. But the most tragic part of this aftermath is the human cost, specifically for Zonnique and the rest of the siblings. While Domani has taken the lead in the rebellion, the pressure on the other children is immense. Sources close to the family suggest a deep divide has formed, with some siblings feeling the need to stay loyal to the king for the sake of their careers, while others privately cheer Domani on for having the courage to speak their truth. This internal fracturing is the ultimate legacy killer. If the children cannot stand together, the empire T.I. built for them has no foundation. Zonnique, in particular, remains the silent center of this storm. Whether she chooses to publicly forgive T.I. or stand with Domani will likely be the final word on this entire saga. For Domani Harris, this moment represents a point of no return. By publicly attacking his father's actions and the culture of their home, he has effectively exiled himself from the inner circle. He has traded the safety and wealth of the Harris kingdom for the harsh light of his own truth. This move has garnered him a new level of respect in the hip-hop community, not as T.I.'s son, but as an independent man with a moral compass. However, that independence comes with a heavy price. The holiday dinners, the joint business ventures, and the public displays of affection that define their brand are likely gone for good. Domani has chosen to be a king of his own making rather than a prince in a house he no longer believes in. As the dust settles, the king of the South looks increasingly like a man presiding over an empty throne. T.I.'s legacy was always meant to be his children, the next generation of the Harris name. But by trying to control that legacy too tightly, he may have inadvertently pushed it away. The irony is staggering. The man who spent his career rapping about motivation and inspiration has become the primary source of frustration for his own flesh and blood. The world is watching to see if T.I. can truly humble himself, step away from the Tip persona, and actually listen to what his son and daughter are saying. If he can't, then 50 Cent didn't just leak a video, he narrated the end of an era. Ultimately, this story is a cautionary tale about the intersection of fame, family, and the reality we see on our screens. It reminds us that behind the jewelry, the mansions, and the carefully crafted Instagram posts, these are real people with real wounds. Domani Harris's attack on T.I. wasn't just a moment of anger. It was a demand for change. Whether that change leads to a genuine reconciliation or a permanent separation remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the family hustle as we knew it is over. The secrets are out, the lines are drawn, and the king is finally being held accountable by the only people whose opinions truly matter: his own family. The internet might move on to the next scandal by next week, but for the Harris family, the echoes of this leak and Domani's rebellion will be felt for a lifetime. 50 Cent may have provided the spark, but the explosion was decades in the making. As we close this chapter, we are left with a sobering thought. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and the title of king if he loses his own family in the process? Only time will tell if T.I. can find a way to bridge the gap, or if Domani's attack was truly the final blow to the Harris legacy. But now, I want to hear from you. Is Domani Harris right for publicly calling out his father? Or should family matters always stay behind closed doors, no matter how messy they get? And what do you think about 50 Cent's role in all of this? Is he just a master troll? Or did he do the Harris children a favor by exposing the truth? This story is developing by the minute, and you know we'll be here to cover every update, every deleted post, and every response from the King of the South himself. If you want to stay in the loop on this family feud and all the latest in hip-hop news, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive. Don't forget to drop a comment below. I'm reading every single one to see whose side you're on, Team TI or Team Domani. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the breakdown. It really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one where the drama never sleeps.